Hello everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm excited to have you here as we explore the foundations for data management. On this first slide, we see the title, Tables and Forms in ServiceNow, which will be our main focus today. Over the course of this presentation, we'll cover how these components work together to support effective data management within ServiceNow. So let's get started and dive into the essentials. Tables are the backbone of all ServiceNow data and workflows. They power everything from incident management to asset tracking. For example, the CMDB CI table, which stands for configuration items, helps us keep track of all the components in our environment. The task table, or task, manages work items, while the user table contains employee records. Then there's the incident table, which is used to log and track service disruptions. Think of a table as a structured spreadsheet. Each row is a record, and each column is a specific field. This organized setup allows ServiceNow to efficiently manage, query, and display data across the entire platform. Tables are really the fundamental building blocks of ServiceNow's data architecture. They store information as records, and each record contains multiple fields that capture specific attributes. So, in essence, understanding tables is key because they form the foundation for how data is stored, related, and used throughout ServiceNow. Now, let's take a look at the different types of tables in ServiceNow and what they mean for our data structure. First, we have custom tables, which are purpose-built tables created to meet specific business requirements and unique organizational needs. These are tailored to fit the exact processes and data you need to manage. Next, we have extended tables. These tables inherit fields and functionality from parent tables, allowing us to build powerful data hierarchies. For example, the change request table extends the task table, meaning it inherits all the core features of tasks, but adds its own specific attributes. Similarly, problem and incident tables also extend task, enabling us to organize and manage related data efficiently. Then there are the extended tables like SysUserGroup, which manages user groups, CMDB CI, which handles configuration items, and SysUser, which stores user records. These are essential for maintaining relationships within the system. Finally, we have base tables, which are independent and stand alone without inheriting from others. These serve as foundational data structures that support the rest of the system without any dependencies. Understanding these different table types helps us design a flexible, scalable architecture within ServiceNow that aligns with our organizational needs and streamlines data management. Let's walk through a real-world example to understand table relationships better. The user role table, or SysUserHasRole, references both the user table, SysUser, and the role table, SysUserRole. This setup creates a many-to-many relationship, which is crucial for managing user permissions across the platform. Essentially, a single user can have multiple roles, and a role can be assigned to many users. Maintaining consistent connections between records is key to ensuring data integrity throughout your ServiceNow instance. When you have these linked records, you can display related information directly on forms, making it easier for users to access and navigate data without switching screens. Related lists are a powerful way to connect records from different tables. They enable complex workflows by establishing these data relationships, which can automate and streamline many processes. Finally, reference fields are the backbone of these relationships. They allow you to link records across tables seamlessly, helping you understand how different data points connect and interact. By grasping these table relationships, you're setting the foundation for a well-structured, efficient, and reliable ServiceNow environment. Now, let's take a closer look at what forms in ServiceNow really are. Essentially, each form field directly corresponds to a column in the database table. This creates a seamless bridge between the underlying data structure and what the user sees and interacts with. Forms serve as the primary user interface for working with records. They transform raw database fields into intuitive, user-friendly screens, making it easier for users to view, add, modify, or remove data. Understanding this connection helps us see how forms are central to managing data efficiently. Whether you're creating new entries, updating existing ones, or deleting records, forms are the go-to interface. This design ensures that interacting with data is straightforward, organized, and secure, which is fundamental to effective service management. Let's talk about a pro tip that can really enhance your form customization, using form views to create different layouts for different user roles or use cases. For example, you might want a simplified view for end users who just need to input basic information, while providing a more detailed, comprehensive view for administrators who need full access. This approach helps streamline workflows and keeps the interface clean for each user type. Next, take advantage of the form designer's powerful drag-and-drop interface. It allows you to craft sophisticated layouts easily, including multi-column sections and conditional field visibility. This means you can make forms that are not only functional, but also visually organized and user-friendly. Now, let's look at some advanced design tools. These let you add, remove, or reorder fields to tailor the form layout perfectly to your users' workflows and data entry needs. The goal is to make the data collection process as smooth and intuitive as possible. To modify the field structure, simply navigate to any record. From there, select Configure, then choose Form Layout from the header menu. This is where all the customization magic happens. Remember, creating and customizing forms is about more than just making them look good. It's about optimizing the user experience and ensuring accurate data collection. By leveraging these tools and techniques, you'll be able to design forms that truly serve your users' needs and enhance your overall process. Let's take a closer look at some key aspects of form organization that can really enhance usability. First, read-only fields are crucial for protecting system-calculated or sensitive data from accidental changes. They help maintain data integrity without cluttering the interface. Next, help text provides valuable contextual guidance right where users need it. This reduces errors and helps users understand what each field or section is for, making the entire process smoother. Default values are also important. They pre-populate fields with common or expected values, which speeds up data entry and minimizes user effort. Mandatory fields are used to mark critical information that must be filled out. Ensuring these are completed helps maintain data completeness and overall quality. When it comes to displaying connected data, showing related information from other tables at the bottom of forms gives users a comprehensive view, making it easier to understand the full context without switching screens. Using related lists organized with tabs helps manage dense forms by separating primary information from more detailed or historical data. This way, users can focus on what's most important while still having access to additional details when needed. Tabbed navigation groups related fields into clear sections, aligning with how users think about their processes. It simplifies navigation and makes forms less overwhelming. Finally, organizing forms into logical sections that mirror user mental models and business workflows ensures the form is intuitive and efficient to complete. When design aligns with how users naturally approach their tasks, it significantly improves the overall experience. Let's talk about building in validation and confirmation steps for critical actions. It's essential to give users clear opportunities to review and confirm their choices before finalizing anything important. And of course, they should be able to easily correct mistakes without losing their work. That's key to a smooth experience. Providing clear feedback on form submission status helps users understand what's happening, whether it's success or if they need to fix something. When it comes to error recovery, keep labels and questions simple and jargon-free. Inline help text and examples are incredibly useful. They guide users without overwhelming them. And instead of just showing error messages that point out problems, design messages that help users resolve issues quickly and confidently. Clear communication is also crucial. Reduce required fields to only what's truly necessary. Use existing data, auto-populate fields, and set default values to minimize manual input. This approach reduces user fatigue and keeps things straightforward. Minimizing cognitive load means designing forms around how people naturally think and work. Conduct user research to understand their mental models and arrange fields in the order users expect. This makes the process intuitive and less mentally taxing. All of these principles tie back to user-centered design. By focusing on what users need and how they think, we create forms that are not only functional but also a pleasure to use. When we apply these best practices, we improve user satisfaction and overall efficiency. Now, on this slide, we're looking at the user form and how it displays related lists that reveal connections to other tables within the system. These related lists include user roles, which are linked via the SysUser role table, as well as assigned incidents, group memberships, and access history. These lists give us a comprehensive 360-degree view of each user's permissions, responsibilities, and activities. For example, the related lists show the user's employment status with an active flag, their contact number in the phone field, and their physical work site in the location field. We also see references to their manager, which links to another user record, and their organizational details like department. The user form fields include essential contact information, such as email and name, which capture the user's first and last name. Remember, the user table, or SysUser, is one of the most fundamental tables in ServiceNow. It stores detailed data about employees and users across the entire platform. To bring this all together, let's look at a real-world example, the user table and form in action, which we'll explore through a case study on the next slide. Now that we've covered the fundamentals, it's time to start exploring your ServiceNow instance today. To do that, navigate to System Definition and then to Tables. This is where you can browse your data structure and get a clear view of how everything is organized. Once you're comfortable with that, you can move on to customizing your forms by going to Configure and then Form Layout. I encourage you to experiment with different layouts and field configurations. Try out what works best for your users. Remember, well-designed forms are key because they improve data quality, reduce errors, and help users be more productive across your organization. This ties directly into our overall focus on quality and efficiency. Forms are the user interfaces that make data interaction intuitive and accurate. And by structuring your data through tables with precision, you enable powerful workflows and automation that drive ServiceNow's success. Mastering these tables and forms is essential because they form the data foundation that supports everything else we do. So, I encourage you to dive in, experiment, and see how customizing forms can empower your users and streamline your processes.